welcome to another episode of Chop It Up alongside the shorter Jimmy S. Vado. I am Eddie Castro, and we got some NFL for your appetite on this Friday afternoon with a little bit of NBA in it. So let's get it kicked off, shall we?
Let's do it.
Jimmy, free agency was bonkers. It's crazy. Out of this world.
Ridiculous. We could think of any word that matches with crazy. Just the moves that happened. In the first 5 minutes of free agency, moves in such a fashion, like back to back, have never happened before. Let's kick off. Let's talk about the biggest players that signed contracts and some that got traded to teams. Let's kick it off with New York Jets. Our fellow New Yorker, welcome back, Revis Island. What you feel about that, Mr. Jeff?
I think it was an exceptional move. Of course, I was happy, personal Jet fan myself. I thought it was an exceptional move. It also shows Mike Mannikin is ready to win now. Now, we all know that this is the rebuilding process, and it may very well be towards this coming season. But the Jets put themselves in a good predicament to be in the playoffs and will compete for the playoffs in the AFC this year with the acquisition of Darrelle Revis, who signed a 5-year, $70 million contract, I believe, with a $39 million in guaranteed money. That man is paid. Now, a lot of people has been emailing me who are very critical about this move. Let me just set the record straight. Darrelle Revis, okay, we all know Darrelle Revis is fond of the money. I mean, who is it?
Shut down corner.
Come on. He tore his ACL a couple years ago, but he reinvented himself as the best corner in the game today. If you have an opportunity to get a cornerback of the caliber of Darrelle Revis, you got to pull the trigger. And that's exactly what the Jets did. So, psyched about having Revis back in green and white.
I don't think he's the best corner in the league right now. I think top 3, yes. Because you got your boy from Arizona.
He's good.
Right?
He's good. Peterson is...
Patrick Peterson?
Patrick Peterson is good.
I think Patrick Peterson is better than Darrelle Revis. But Darrelle Revis in his prime, in the beginning of his prime, that man was the next Deion Sanders prime time. So I do not fault the Jets at all. He's still a shutdown corner, regardless. Whatever, he's way better than what the Jets had last year. And
way better than what the Jets had in the past couple years.
Yes. So, welcome back home to Darrelle Revis. I'm happy for the Jets, man. I'm not a Jets fan, but, I'm a New Yorker, So you want to root for your boys in New York, Right. When my boys, the Giants, are down and out, I want to root for the Jets because my boys in New York, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, anyway, congratulations to the New York Jets for bringing back Revis Island. And MetLife Stadium is going to be bonkers.
Yep, and not only that, upon the Revis sighting, Revis found a way to talk Antonio Cromartie to also coming back with the Jets, bringing those two back and giving us the Batman and Robin tandem, as you would say.
But let's not touch on that topic yet. Let's just continue talking about the moves that happened, the single player moves. We had the next guy I want to talk about is the blockbuster. It broke walls. It was so unexpected. Was the Jimmy Graham trade from New Orleans to Seattle? Who expected that? Now, Seattle got a steal. They gave up Max Unger, all-pro center, but
young center.
It's still a center,
Yes.
At the end of the day, you traded in a center for all-pro tight end receiver / wide receiver.
It's probably the top 3 tight end in the league. You can put
second best.
Yeah, second best. You can
second best tight end.
You can put him and Gronk right there in that category as well.
Gronk's number 1. But anywho's, they gave up a first-round pick and Max Unger, which is that first-round pick is the 31st pick in the NFL draft. which you don't really. I mean, you're gonna find some talent there, but I mean, you trading a 31st pick for Jimmy Graham, who's locked and loaded for the next 4 years.
Yeah, he's still
in the prime time, locked and loaded. This is what Russell Wilson got. Mind you, Russell Wilson has not in his short career so far. He has never had a pure number one receiver.
That's right.
Never had a pure number one. Percy was there, but Percy was injured. But when Percy was there, Percy made an impact, as you can see when they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. But anyway, this is what Jimmy Graham is bringing to the table. He's bringing 85 receptions with 889 yards with 10 touchdowns. Meaning, this guy's a red zone target. Meaning, if they would have had him on that last play of the Super Bowl that just passed, we might be looking at back-to-back champions.
Yes, we will.
Red zone target. So, this just put the Seattle Seahawks back in the Super Bowl for the third straight year.
To the Seattle Seahawks general manager for pulling this off. It was probably the most jaw-dropping. You would have said the LaShawn McCoy would have been the most jaw-dropping because we obviously saw that in left field. I remember on the phone with Jimmy, and I was telling him about it, and he had nothing to say. And then
I was driving, and he calls me. LaShawn McCoy got traded to the Buffalo Bills for Kiko Alonso. I had to pull over and just look at ESPN just to see if that was true, because that don't make sense. But I mean, it don't make sense for a 1-for-1. That caught me a little. I think the Eagles could have got more, but that's why we sit here and talk about it. They pay them at the front office the big bucks to pull the moves. And anyway, I'm happy to see LaShawn out the NFC East, man. So by all means, get out of here, brother.
Now my team has to deal with them. Go figure.
Yeah, but let's see how that works. The next big move, which is the largest free agent contract for a defensive player in history, is your boy Ndamukong Suh signed what's the details? 6 years,
6 years, 117 million dollars. 114.
114.
6 years. Well, incentives it might add up to that. You're getting the best defensive player that was on the free agent market.
Probably the best nose guard out of the interior lineman out there.
Plain and simple.
He brought you 8.5 sacks last year. Now you gotta think about it like this. Ndamukong Suh makes your front four automatically better.
Absolutely.
Now teams are gonna double team Ndamukong Suh. Then you got your pass rushers on the side. I forgot his name. What's his name? He played in CFL for a little bit.
Was it Cameron? Was it Cameron guy?
Cameron Wake.
Cameron Wake.
Cameron Wake is a beast on that line. Now, just you're gonna play 1-on-1 with Cameron Wake now because you got Ndamukong Suh. If you wanna double team Ndamukong, you got Cameron Wake going 1-on-1 with your lineman. Which 9 times out of 10, Cameron Wake is gonna win because Cameron Wake is a beast. And if you want to double team Cameron Wake, you got 1-on-1 Ndamukong Suh.
How many people do you know in the NFL can go 1-on-1 with Ndamukong Suh?
And even though if you want to double team both, you're freeing the man on the left hand side to come at the quarterback. Deion Jordan.
That's right.
You're freeing Deion Jordan, which a lot of people say he's been a bust, but this could open things up for him. Just think about what Justin Smith did for Alden Smith, right, in San Francisco. Just think about that. When Justin Smith wasn't in the lineup and he was out, the sack production for Alden Smith was low. But when Justin Smith was in that line, the sack production went up.
They freed up more opportunities for Alden Smith.
So I can see this happening for Deion Jordan.
I can see the same, similarities there.
Huge signing for the Miami Dolphins. This gives them an extra 3 wins. Now, those 3 wins would have put them at 11-5 last year if they were, because they They were 9-7, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
They were 9-7 this past year. You know, this signing puts 3 wins right away on that
Miami
column.
Dolphins back on the map.
In my opinion, you know. Let's talk about the next one that went off the board is Julius Thomas. Now, I'm tit for tat with Julius Thomas. I want to say, I hope he does great in Jacksonville. You know, they need receivers out there, and I hope Justin Blackmon gets his act together.
Yes,
because this guy is
quite
a talent.
Quite a talent.
With him and Thomas, you know, they can do some good things. And with the young quarterback,
yeah, Blake Bortles is just going to be blooming into his second year in the NFL, and the downside with him was that he got sacked a lot. Wasn't no protection.
Offensive line was trash.
Offensive line was horrible, and it makes it even difficult when you don't have nobody to throw it to. You're getting Blackmon back, and you're getting Julius Thomas. I mean, you can have a field day throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Julius Thomas, he had a career high in touchdown catches.
But the question is he a product of Peyton Manning?
Well, I mean, we've seen what happened. I mean, we've seen what happened with Stokely. Stokely was a stud when he was with Indianapolis.
When he left?
You know, and then when he left, I mean, he was out of the league, and he even know it.
He went from... yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You know, and you didn't really hear about Julius Thomas till Peyton got there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like I said, he's a great talent. Julius Thomas gave you 43 receptions last year for 400, almost 500 yards, and he gave you 12 touchdowns.
Absolutely.
Now, without a shadow of a doubt, the touchdowns are going to be there because this man is too athletic and too big to not score 10 or higher in every year of his career.
Perfect example.
Way too talented.
Perfect example now that we're staying with tight ends, Dallas Clark. Look what Peyton Manning did for his career. Has anybody seen or heard from Dallas Clark yet? No.
So let's see let's see what happens here.
Yes.
Let's see if Julius Thomas could burn the trend of, you know, Peyton Manning toys, leaving Peyton Manning and just going on to other teams and just drowning. Hopefully he could break that trend, and hopefully he has a successful career, man.
Yeah.
Because he's a very great, talented player.
A great talent, and he has the arm.
Arm, you mean hands.
Blake Bortles.
Oh, Blake Bortles, I'm sorry.
Nah.
My bad.
We all know Mr. Thomas has hands. Let's just see if he can bring that to the Sunshine State.
Let's see that. Next guy up on the board, DeMarco Murray. That boy just didn't want to leave the NFC East.
This was a surprise for me. I thought I was completely sold.
I was shocked
that he was going to stay in Dallas. I mean, from the reports that we were getting all week, it sounded like he was staying in Dallas.
I thought he was going.
Jerry Jones was talking a good talk. You know, let people like me know full that he was going to stay in Dallas, and then another curveball that this free agent period threw at us, and he signs the contract with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Man, I don't know. I don't get it because they got the boy from San Diego.
Yes, Ryan Matthews. I think it's phenomenal. I think Chip Kelly, back in his Oregon days, Chip Kelly likes to run the ball. That's what the spread offense is all about. He likes to run the ball, and now you have the potential three-headed monster with Murray, Matthews, and let's not forget, Darren Sproles is still on the roster. And not only that, DeMarco Murray rushed the ball for almost 400 carries. If this pans out and Ryan Matthews can help take the load off of DeMarco Murray, let's be straight. A lot of players don't live out 5-year contracts. If Ryan Matthews can take a third of the carries away from Murray to give Murray a little bit of break, I think DeMarco Murray can actually live out and be successful with this 5-year contract.
As a Giants fan, I'm scared. I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of people talking about how's it gonna work. 3 great running backs, man. 3 pretty, I won't say great, pretty damn good running backs that could start for any team in the NFL together. And all I could think about was the last New York Giants championship team, which was Brandon Jacobs, Derek Ward, Ahmed Bradshaw. Three-headed beast.
Mm-hmm.
That year, you had Derek Ward and you had Brandon Jacobs run for over 1,000 yards. Ahmed Bradshaw rushing over 500 yards. That's scary. We talking about 2,500 yards worth of rushing yards from running back. And you know how that's going to open the field up? The only thing for the Eagles that is iffy is the wide receivers. But... yeah. I mean, running the ball will soften up the secondary for any team, man.
So what?
Because DeMarco Murray gave you 1,800 yards, over 1,800 yards last year. Gave you 13 touchdowns. You know, averaging almost he averaged almost 5 yards a carry.
It's unheard of.
I mean,
he's an NFL rushing champ.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Not only that.
Also, not to cut you off. Also, this is another tit for tat, iffy, just like I was with Julius Thomas. Look at the offensive line that DeMarco Murray had in Dallas. All pro, all around. Best offensive line in football. He left that to go to Philadelphia. Now, are you going to get them same holes that you ran through last year in Philadelphia?
Probably not.
Maybe not. We'll see what's up. Maybe that 1,800 yards turn into 1,300 yards. But, you know, that's still pretty damn good.
If Ryan Matthews is going to be productive and does his part, I think the Eagles will sign up for that anything.
Hey,
at the end of the day, you want to be able to rest and limit the carries. Not ultimately limit, but if you can get a lower production and have Ryan Matthews come in for DeMarco Murray, I think the Eagles will sign up for that any day.
I feel you on that. Last but not least, the first big boom in the offseason. As far as trades and free agency signings, was fired by the New York Jets when they traded a 5th-round pick for Brandon Marshall, which is a hell of a steal. Even though I believe Brandon Marshall's on a decline of his career, but at the end of the day, you're getting a beast. You're getting a beast. He's going to come here to New York. First of all, he's comfortable already because he works for HBO, that HBO show.
Yeah. HBO show. Yeah, it's in Jersey.
Yeah, is in Jersey. The studios is in Jersey. You know, inside the NFL. He works for them. They film in Jersey. Jets play in Jersey. So it was like a perfect. It fits perfect. It's a fit. Sometimes maybe I'm a little afraid that it fits too perfectly.
The Jets may be proud of this one. With this trade, I called it Marsh Madness. It was unbelievable trade for Brandon Marshall. And I'm going to tell you why this makes sense for the New York Jets. First of all, Brandon Marshall, although he had a downside season last year, this could be one of those rejuvenating times for Brandon Marshall. This could uplift him.
Look who we had throwing him the ball.
Yeah, well, I mean...
And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad.
Not a bad quarterback, but you know...
It's sad. The way his year was horrible. Maybe his production was low because of the horrible year that Jay Cutler had. I mean, Brandon Marshall had 61 balls caught, 721 yards.
I think this league is still, you know, it's kind of unfair. It's kind of unfair.
And 8 touchdowns. Not to mention 8 touchdowns. Red zone target.
Listen, Brandon Marshall was averaged 10 targets per game. And that's one of the questions that I have about this. Can Geno Smith feed him the ball? But Brandon Marshall is an exceptional receiver for the New York Jets. One being Brandon Marshall is a multiple 1,000-yard receiver in his career. Last time the Jets had a wide receiver that did 1,000 yards in a season, you have to go all the way back to 2007 when Jericho Cotry did it. Woo. Okay? Jericho Cotry.
Dak almost did it last year.
Okay?
For that huge game.
And also, with that, on the same day, the Jets re-signed David Harris. Now, I'm going to give you
big signing.
A little some hot soup that I like to call it. Big signing. Very phenomenal player. In 2009, before the season started.
Had a career season in tackles.
Yep. In 2009, before the season started, there were speculations between the Chicago Bears and the New York Jets involving a trade for Brandon Marshall. Now, in return, the Bears wanted David Harris. How ironic that on the same day the two become teammates, and now they're going to be sporting green and white. And with the Brandon Marshall trade now, alongside with Eric Decker, the Jets now have one of the tallest receiving tandems in the NFL. And last year there were 3 teams that had starting receivers that played 12 games that were 6 or 3 or more that wide receiver tandems. Brandon Marshall alongside with Alshon Jeffrey. In Tampa Bay, you had Vincent Jackson and you had Mike Evans. And in Arizona, you had Michael Floyd and Larry Fitzgerald. So Geno Smith will have a lot of tall targets to throw the ball around.
There's no excuse for Geno this year. I believe no way. But anywho's, that's it right there. Let's talk about the biggest winners in the NFL free agency. I'm gonna start it off. The biggest winner for me in free agency, we're gonna pick 2 teams because we don't want to run it short on time here. Right. We're gonna pick 2 teams. Biggest winners. My first team is the New York Jets.
Whoa, wow.
Biggest winner in free agency.
Wow.
Biggest winner. Look who they brought in though. Let's think about their secondary last year. Alright? The only man I could probably think off the top of my head is their first round pick, D. Milliner.
Right.
I don't even know who that. They had practice squad guys starting at corner for the Jets. It went from that to this. Darrelle Revis, Antonio Cromartie,
Buster Skrine.
That's just your secondary right there. That's your corners. Now your number 1 corner last year was D. Milliner. Now that boy got pushed all the way down to number 4. You know, because Buster Skrine had 4 picks for the Cleveland Browns last year.
A lot of people.
So, I mean, he got talent.
A lot of people are underestimating Buster Skrine. I got the NFL Network. I watched a lot of Cleveland Browns football because I was into the whole hoopla of Johnny Football, just like I was with the Tim Tebow. Buster Skrine, the kid can play.
Yeah, very much so. And that's just a secondary. They got help for the offensive line in James Carpenter, which is a young lineman they took from Seattle, which is awesome. First round pick for Seattle a few years ago.
He is a mammoth of a man. 6'4", 340.
Yes, big man. And the man we just spoke about, Brandon Marshall. How can you not be the biggest winner in the free agent market when you got those players right off the bat? My second winner, the team that came in second place for me, is the Indianapolis Colts. You know, they got Frank Gore. First of all, before I move on to any other guy, Frank Gore, Ahmed Bradshaw combination is going to be sick.
Yes.
Sick. Watch out for them. Add on to that a little bit of Andre Johnson. Add on to that a little bit of Trent Cole on that defensive line. You know what I'm saying? Kendall Langford as well. You got some you got your veterans there. For a young team, yes. You got your veterans.
You need a veteran presence.
That's all watch out for the Indianapolis Colts. My Super Bowl prediction this year coming up: Seattle Seahawks versus the Indianapolis Colts. I'm already making it. Signed, sealed, delivered. Who's your biggest winners?
Well, alongside the Jets, as he elaborated on, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Philadelphia Eagles, even though it seemed a little lackadaisical on what exactly they were trying to do, especially with them looking like they were just cleaning the house, but they did pretty good. You got Byron Maxwell from Seattle. You got DeMarco Murray, as Jimmy just talked about. You got Sam Bradford, even though it's not really an upgrade. But, Sam Bradford, if he's healthy, he can be productive. And if not, you still have Mark Sanchez. And there has been rumors that the Eagles might actually try to move in the draft to acquire the quarterback from Oregon, Marcus Mariota, to pair him up with Chip Kelly. Very unlikely, but then again, Chip Kelly had Tim Tebow working out for him the other day, so you just don't know what's going to happen with Chip Kelly.
You know how much you're going to have to give up to get to that number 6 hole? It'll be good for the Jets. It'll be good for the Jets.
There's a Chip Kelly we're talking about.
Chip Kelly, I don't think Chip Kelly's going to mortgage his franchise for a player that's not even proven yet.
Yeah, but listen, when you have a quarterback, when a team drafts a quarterback, college offenses and NFL offenses, they're different. It takes a long time for a quarterback to bloom. If you can find yourself in a situation where you can go in the draft and go down, it may be worth the sacrifice. It may be worth the sacrifice.
I think Marcus Mariota.
You give Marcus Mariota a quarterback that knows your offense already.
I think he's gonna be a bust. I don't think he's gonna fit the NFL standard. He just reminds me of Mark Sanchez coming out of USC. That's what he reminds me of. But anyway,
that still remains the same. We'll see what happens.
And
Eagles also got Kiko Alonso, who is a good talent, young linebacker, and they also picked up the quarterback Walter Thurman.
Yeah, Walter Thurman, the third corner. He's alright. He was with us for a little bit. He got hurt last year, out for the season. Whatever.
Yeah.
Another Oregon guy for Chip Kelly. Let's talk about our losers.
My biggest loser, I have the Oakland Raiders. I just did not understand what they were trying to do. I mean, you got the most money to spend. The most money to spend on the salary cap, and you've just basically stood there frozen. I don't know what the general manager is doing. I don't know what direction they're trying to do. I don't know. It's obvious that they wasn't trying to do anything in free agency, so it'll be interesting to see what they'll actually do come the NFL draft, because it just doesn't make sense. You have money to spend. You have money to blow, and they basically stood frozen and just watched everybody took who they could have got. I felt Ndamukong Suh was walking his way to California in the silver and black.
$70 million in cap room. How the hell can you not do nothing to solidify that poor team that you have? The Black Hole fans deserve way better than what the hell the front office is giving them.
Right?
I don't understand this. $70 million in cap space. You don't get one impact player to walk through that locker room?
Not one.
Not one?
It doesn't make sense.
It's ridiculous. It's blasphemy. But anyway, I agree with you on that.
Maybe is it a possibility that they know something that we don't know? I mean, we have seen it before. It's a rarity, but this doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
What they gonna get? Who's out there? Nobody.
Well,
what do they know that we don't know? Nothing. Anyway, I agree with you with that. Biggest loser. Second biggest loser in a NFL offseason, I want to say, the San Francisco 49ers. It's just crazy and sad how this team, 2 years ago, they were contending for Super Bowl championship. Now 2 years later, they're sitting. They're gonna sit in the gutter of the NFC, NFC West. Right, that's the West Division name.
Yeah, NFC West.
NFC West. They're gonna sit in the gutter, man. Look who they lost. First of all, let's start with Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh.
That's the number one loss right there. I don't care who you are. If I'm an organization and I have a coach that only missed the playoffs one time in 4 years, and the first 2 years got the team to the NFC Championship game. Third year got them to the Super Bowl. Fourth year didn't make the playoffs. Why you let him go?
That move didn't
I don't understand that. And not only that, Mikey Potts, all-pro
huge loss.
lineman.
Huge loss.
All-pro lineman. Then we got Frank Gore, Mr. Consistent. They lost him too. Then we have the surprise retirement of Patrick Willis. You know, that shocked a whole lot. That's the heart and soul of the San Francisco 49ers.
Of that defense. And not only that, they've lost a young linebacker, Chris Borland. Chris Borland, you can't forget him. And
100 tackles last year.
When Willis was out, ironically.
Exactly.
He was supposed to be that young void to, ultimately take the torch for Patrick Willis. And now, due to his safety concerns, he has now retired from the NFL at 24 years old. And
Justin Smith is another loss.
He's contemplating retirement too. And it's very unlikely that they're going to bring back Michael Crabtree after they signed Torrey Smith away from Baltimore.
That's a good pickup, Torrey Smith.
It was the only pickup they had.
Yeah, but I think they lost way too much to... I don't think they're going to recover from this. No. I think that defense, not to mention Chris Culliver, that's another loss. A young starting to make it, in my opinion. I always love Chris Collier. I don't know. I always liked him, and he could be a star. He could be a star in the NFL one day.
Yes.
But those are all losers. Now let's switch gears to the NBA real quick and talk about this MVP race. This crazy MVP race. We have about a couple of minutes left in the show, so let's try to break this down as fast as we can. We got MVP race. Top 2 guys already. You have to agree with me. Russell Westbrook, James Harden.
Absolutely.
It's going to be one of those two that's going to take the MVP. Who you think is going to take the MVP?
You know what? I got James Harden on this one. I got James Harden because he is leading the NBA in scoring, and he's doing it without one of the most dominant centers in the league, in Dwight Howard. You know, he scores at will. His production is up. His assist has gone up, and he's basically carrying the Rockets towards the top of the West in that division. And it's hard to argue what he's doing in Houston without the big man Dwight Howard there.
I just gotta correct you real quick. Westbrook passed him in leading the league in scoring. James Harden.
Yeah, but that's for that time frame. I'm talking about.
No, I'm talking about the whole season right now. League leader in scoring.
Yeah, I know. But I'm talking about throughout the league. Harden was doing it without Howard.
And Westbrook was doing it without Durant.
I mean, Durant had it here and there, but you still have Serge Ibaka. Rockets don't have a Serge Ibaka. They have role players, but they don't have. Serge Ibaka is one of the most dominant defensive players in the league.
You can't compare Durant to Howard. Durant is on the whole
I'm not comparing Durant to Howard.
I'm gonna tell you right now. James Harden, 26 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 7 assists per game. Westbrook, 27.6 points a game, almost 28 he's averaging, with 7 rebounds a game and 8 assists a game he's averaging. Now, James Harden, you say he's doing it by himself. Throughout this whole year, Dwight Howard only played 32 games.
It didn't even feel like that.
It didn't even feel like it, but here's another shocker, which surprised me. Russell Westbrook played without Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant only played 27 games this year. So, personally, my opinion, this is only if OKC makes the playoffs, of course. If OKC makes the playoffs, I'm giving the award to Russell Westbrook. Just because Durant only played 27 games this year. Durant is an MVP #1 franchise player on any team. And Russ was keeping that team above water. And now Serge is out as well. He's been out for some period of time.
Right.
So I give the award to Russell Westbrook just because of that. Not just because of that. Because the talent he had, the triple doubles, he's tearing the league up right now.
Going on the Surge.
Ever since the All-Star game, he's been tearing up the league.
Tearing it up, indeed.
So I think Russell Westbrook surpassed James Harden in this award.
I'm gonna disagree. I just think James Harden has done so much for the Houston Rocket team. He's got him on the top of the West. Every numbers he has gone up category. Steals, assist, scoring. Before this year started, no one thought that James Harden would lead the league in scoring. He's established himself as the best shooting guard in the NBA, in my opinion, today. And not only that, he's aggressive. He gets to the foul line 12 to 14 times a game. It's hard to do.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right? That's it. That's our predictions, man. We're going to see who's going to take it this year, man. And anyway, let us know what y'all think. Hashtag Harden, hashtag Westbrook. Who's going to be the MVP? Let us know your opinions, man.
Let us know.
I'd like to know.
You can email me at CastroEddie714@gmail.com. Let me and Jimmy know, what do you think about this MVP race? Who's going to win it? If you want to throw in LeBron James and Steph Curry, who could be 3 and 4, why not throw them in there? It's your opinions. It matters to us.
You can also hit me up at jayace7487@AOL.com. That's JAYACE7487@AOL.com. Let me know your prediction as well. Let us know what you think, And please, man, like the video, share the video. Follow the page, man. Subscribe to our channels, man. We greatly appreciate it. You know, we really appreciate the support, man. You know, it's a blessing, man. Let's thank everybody out there. But on that note, take us out, brother.
There we go. That will do it for this episode. Happy first day of spring. Alongside Shooter, I'm Eddie Castro. We'll see you next week. Ladies, stay Friday, y'all.